I've made quite a few film characters in D&D recently, but I think today might contain the scariest. A particular Dark Lord of the Sith is pretty terrifying and I think the perfect BBEG for any campaign. However, there are a few other equally cool stat blocks and an item I want to show you first. We'll start with the item, as all the stat blocks use a variation of it, and that item is the lightsaber. It is a versatile, finesse weapon that deals 2d8 or 2d10 force damage normally. The fun comes in when you attune to it and you get to pick up a fighting style. You can go defensive and get AC boosts, or offensive and deal 4d8 or 4d10 damage instead of the 2d8 or 2d10. You can go for dual wielder for multiple attacks, or you can use the double-ended for a bit of both, so double attacks and AC boosts. There are plenty of bits and pieces to choose from, so do have some fun with this. Now onto the creatures. Let's go chronologically, shall we? Starting with the main villain of episode 1, Darth Maul. Darth Maul gets a selection of spells he can cast at will, which are effectively his force abilities. He's able to hold people in place with Hold Person, can use Tasha's Mind Whip, and can also use mind tricks with Suggestion. He gets legendary resistances as he is very durable, and his double-ended lightsaber gives him a +2 to his AC, taking it up to 22. He also gets a selection of spells that require spell slots, showing the more difficult force abilities like avoiding death or compelling a creature to move in a certain way. He can also make 2 different types of attacks with his double-ended lightsaber. The first is just a regular attack, and he can make 2 of those each turn. His second attack is not with disadvantage though, as he has mastered this style. The other attack is a bit of an AoE where he can jump into a group and deal damage to them, all subject to a dex save. Overall, he is quite fearsome and one of those enemies that can be a real headache for your party. Now we'll move on to episode 3 and everybody's favourite cyborg. General Grievous is a genuinely terrifying foe and has 4 lightsabers that he can attack you with. He has his own style, which allows him to make all 4 of these attacks each turn, or to forgo that to do an AoE. He can also spin all 4 to create a moving machine of death that just destroys anything it comes into contact with. If all of that wasn't scary enough, he's immune to certain types of damage, has magic resistance, and can climb away from you on the walls if he wants to run away. Honestly, terrifying. But it is nowhere near the next stat block I have to show you. I think this is the worst one I have put together on this channel, and I would be running away instantly if I came up against this. Darth Vader, the Sith Lord who controlled the galaxy for years, who is known to have taken out some of the strongest Jedi in the galaxy without really breaking a sweat. Only a select few have gone up against him and survived, so let's have a look at his stat block. His stats are quite high, although he's not the most dexterous or charismatic. His expertise in perception and insight means you can't get anything past him, and he is also incredibly intimidating. Like Maul, Vader gets legendary resistances and a selection of at-will spells to choose from. Vader gets some stronger spells here, such as Hold Monster, Telekinesis and Telepathy, but this just goes to show how in tune with the Force he actually is. His actual spell list makes him even stronger and even scarier, with spells right up to 9th level giving him a massive abilities to deal with his enemies. He can also rage 3 times a day, making him more deadly and his attacks stronger. Thankfully, when he ranges, he does have to make checks to cast any spell, but the DC isn't impossible, so you could be up against a very angry Darth Vader who is holding you in place. This moves us on to his actions and bonus actions. These are relatively simple, with him being able to make an attack with his lightsaber easily. He is also able to chop off parts of you if you aren't too careful and he crits on you, and this deals even more damage. The damage doesn't end there though. His mastery of the Force means he can cast a lot of his weaker spells as a bonus action, meaning he can attack you with his main action, and then use the Force with his bonus to make your life even more miserable. Finally, we get to have a look at his legendary actions. Using these, he can make attacks, scare the entire battlefield, or use some of his more powerful spells. Overall, he would wipe the floor with lots of parties, so be careful if you decide to cross him. The spells and attacks, mixed with his high AC and HP, make him formidable. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed all that homebrew. I'm always taking suggestions for more, so let me know what you want to see next. Ta-ra.